A unique space that's preserving a legacy dating back 340 years is now open overlooking Lake Tenkiller. The 1684 Venue Resort was built with a section that made a long journey from Germany to stand tall in the U.S. for the rest of its days. Only on 6, I'm giving you a look at what it took to build the venue and the special craftsmen who made it happen.
This is where something old is becoming new again. Where a piece of history from a place far away has landed overlooking Lake Tenkiller.
This is going to be the oldest timber frame structure west of the Mississippi, and we thought it was a really unique opportunity.
The beams you see here were once the bones of an old barn in Germany.
It was one of the oldest barns I'd ever seen for sale, 1684, 330 plus year old barn.
The barn, neglected and falling down, was carefully disassembled and shipped to Oklahoma, where Colby and Fallon King are building the 1684 venue for weddings and events near Vian.
It took a long time to be able to find the perfect spot for such a beautiful structure to land on. And when we found this property, we just fell in love with it.
The natural beauty outside ties in with the natural beams inside. The Kings are keeping the wood exposed while recreating the frame of the original barn.
We have original pictures, and it did look like this, from the pitch of the roof being very steep due to snow in Europe. The only thing we're changing is there won't be any center beams, just because the flow of the room and things like that.
Now, piecing it all together perfectly is not a job for just anyone. So the Kings turned to a group of journeymen from Germany to take on the task. Journeymen are skilled workers in a specific trade or craft, known for their expertise and dedication to their work. It's a way of life that's been around longer than the wood they're working with.
This tradition is about 850 years old. It's the oldest ever written down tradition in Europe.
Hansen and his crew are carpenters.
Being a journeyman is not a trade as itself. Being a journeyman is part of your life where you go out and travel and get to know different things, but you still stay within your trade.
Their job comes with strict rules. They must be under 30 with no wife or children and never in any trouble with the law. They have a dress code, can't have cell phones, can't stay in one place for longer than 3 months, and they're not allowed to go within 30 miles of their hometown for at least 3 years.
You kind of exchange it for the whole world, for the rest of the world, so it's a good trade.
Hansen's work has taken him to countless countries, but this project, putting together a piece of history from his home country, means more than the rest.
It's hard to describe the feeling because there's so many things that go on in your mind when you think of a building that old, and especially when you learn carpentry, you don't often have the opportunity to work on buildings that old, and for me it was an honor to build that building and to give it the new place to stay and stand.
They didn't have any blueprints of the original barn, just those pictures. So it took some time to figure out where everything needed to go.
Lots is about how the wood looks and how the whole building works with each other and how the beams fit to each other. Of course, there's a part of art in it, I think.
And even with some pieces missing or in bad shape, they made it work.
This whole beam was not long enough, so we added that part over there.
And you can hardly even tell.
Yeah, that's the heart of it.
And this is their work of art today. Those old chunks of wood have transformed into a beautiful new space.
It was original German craftsmen that built this barn, and it's German craftsmen that are going to bring it and give it a new life here in America.
Where its storied past will be present for generations to come.
It's just such a beautiful venue. And that was a long process. And they've been building that, working on the plans for 5-6 years.
Well, I remember when you went and shot that, telling us about it, and I just thought, well, maybe something happened. We never ran it. Well, now I know why.
Yeah.
We were waiting for the completion of the product.
And you just saw just a little picture of the finished product. You can go on the 1684 Resort Venue website and their Facebook and Instagram pages to see just the absolute stunning beauty that it is. The bridal suite, it's just amazing.
And they should post this story now too on that, because I think people will walk by that wood never realizing maybe the extent.
And that's what made it so unique. When I found out the journeyman from Germany had come to help put it together, because they said there really just wasn't anyone who could piece that old wood back together the way those guys who are so skilled in their craft.
It's really interesting to know all those kind of rules about the journeyman. You know, they can only be a certain age. They're going to be single. They can't go home. I mean, it's an interesting craft.
Yeah, and so they would come, some of them would come, they'd be here for 3 months and then they have to leave. And then a few of them would come back and they came back for 3 months and, you know, so on and so forth. But I don't know if they have come back yet to see the finished piece. Hopefully they'll get to come and see that.
Well, if they do, we need to go check that out.
Yeah, exactly.